Yo, Lansana, what's good, man? What's good? What's good? What's good? Jeff Joe, what's up? What's up? Listen, man, we execute in all 2023, right? So look, what I don't want to do, I don't want nobody to go in 2023 the same place they was in 2022, doing the same thing they was in 2022, right? Everything got to change, right? It's all about tooling up and adding to your skills, right? In 2023, improving your sales skills, right? Improving your marketing, right? Improving your execution, improving your business model, adding streams of income. We adding, we understanding real estate at a higher level. We doing bigger deals. This is not in decades past, right? The information available is abundant, right? And we want to do is figure it out. So what I'm about to do right now is I'm gonna list out the people that I follow, the people that I tap into. You know what? I ain't found a good one. I ain't found a good laundromat for you, guys. Let me look to see what's available now. But yeah, I've been off of Philly for a little bit now. So I'm gonna give you guys a list right now of the people that I'm following, that's inspiring me, that I'm getting my information from, that's gonna really be able to take you to that next level wherever you are, right? And all the time, it's not necessarily about the information per se. It's more about that spark, that idea that you get from listening to the information, right? It's about, okay, I heard this thing from somewhere and that created an idea, right? It's like we want to make more bread. As a matter of fact, we could do this real fast. We want to gain right now, right? We want to make more bread from our mind than we would do from our muscles, right? We want to make more money from our mind than we want to make from our muscles, because the muscles are limited, right? The muscles, when you get your muscles, you're going to have your failure point, right? At some point, okay, I got 200 push-ups in, 205 in, 208 in. I don't know. The brain doesn't have a point to where the brain fails. There is no point in the brain muscle, right, or the brain organ where the brain fails. Your physical muscle fail, it can only do so much. Your brain is unlimited. So we want to use more of that brain power than we want to do for that muscle power, so that we could go ahead and get to that next level. That was a good bar. You're gonna see it again, actually, right? I beat it up just now. That was a good bar. You're gonna see that thing again. I mean, I might hire a whole videographer, do a whole series on that. That was a good bar, right? So I'm listening to a lot of By the Hood podcasts. I'm listening to a lot of Earn Your Leisure, a lot of David Shands, people, Ryan McCrary for funnels, Aaron Ball for running ads, a lot of Neo for motivation, how to do more digital marketing. But right now, bro, is a lot of picks and shovels in 2023, right? This has been the best 5 years for creatives ever. When I say you're a creative, people that have graphic design, they're making a bag. Photographers making a bag. Videographers making a bag. People that like engineers running podcasts making a bag, right? What I want you to do is look at your town, right? Look at your city and figure out what is that need that needs to be filled. And how can you help that need be filled? I'm a real estate guy. I know that people need houses, right? I know people need housing, right? The reason why I'm even in real estate is because I went with an industry that everybody needs: food, clothing, shelter. I'm not a fashionable person. I don't have no style. I'm not a farmer. I'm not opening a grocery store. But I understand this housing, right? I understand the shelter, right? It's a basic necessity. It doesn't matter where you are in this earth, people are going to need shelter. That's why I chose shelter. Food, clothing, shelter. Right? That's what I'm on right now. So, there's people that, be honest with you, I was going to give you guys a business credit person or a credit repair person. I'm not going to do that right now on here because I don't want to endorse somebody that might say something crazy later, and then you be like, damn, Malik, you want to endorse this person? Because I know a lot of business credit repair people are talking crazy online, and I can't endorse half what they're saying, right? There's a couple people that I like, but just in case, I'm a hold back on those. Right? Right? A lot of these credit repair bulls and business credit bulls, they usually say like a lot of spicy stuff. So I ain't really messing with it, you know. So I'm not going to endorse anybody on that tip right now. So learning how to run ads like TikTok ads, learning how to run Facebook ads, right? Learning how to run Instagram ads. These things are super important, and they don't take forever to learn. Like, you could write your own ticket. For instance, me and Justin, we just stopped running Facebook ads, right? We were paying $2,000 a month for the person on our ads, plus they would get a percentage of our sales, and we're just one account. So let's just say let's say you got 5 accounts, not a whole lot, right? Let's say you got 5 accounts, all 5 paying you $2,000. You already at $10,000 a month. And how much are you really working on these 5 accounts? But if you get good, you can really run that thing up. You get good, you can really scale that thing up. Right? And like, how long is it going to take you? A few months? It's going to take you a few months to get good at running ads? It's not. If you lock in low for 3 to 4 months, like, take the courses, take the mentorships, really scale it out. I know you can learn Google AdSense. I know YouTube has free stuff that you can learn from them. Facebook has free stuff you can learn from them, but you can also go to experts in other spaces, like, to scale. That's a $10,000 a month. Easy thing, right? And to learn that skill, right? To learn how to build funnels, right? Right now, what you're seeing, people running their businesses, they're using funnels, they're not using websites. A lot of that is templates, right? If you're creative, you know how to manipulate it, there's that. If you learn how to write is super important, right? The email marketing John. She's incredible when it comes to writing sales emails. You got to get with her. She's going to teach you. When it comes to drop shipping, get Drunk or Die Trying and Danielle Holmes, right? They are, lock in with them if you want to learn drop shipping, right? But these are the skills you need to be learning in 2023. You have to, right? Just being basic. This is the easiest time in the history of the world to get rich. After these moments are done, it is over. You can forget about getting rich. After these moments, you're done for. You're done for after these moments, because when automation can take them basic jobs away, you're out of here, right? They say in the next 20 years, 70% of jobs paying less than $20 an hour are going to be gone, right? So it's like, you got to get it now. You got to get it now and save it now. If you don't, in the next decade or 2, you are out of here, right? Depending on your job income alone is dead, right? This is the easiest time in the history of the world to get rich, because the only thing you need to do it is this. All you need is a cell phone. That's all you need to get rich, right? It's like, okay, what skill can I pick up, right? You don't even, nowadays, you could just be silly and make millions of dollars. If you're silly on this thing, and you can develop an audience, now you're getting tens of thousands of dollars in bookings. You're getting People are placing sponsorships, right? They're bringing you on their show. Like, you're getting opportunities. So it's not about necessarily about the skill, right? It's about, can you build the audience? What skill can you get? Can you find your customer? Can you find your tribe? What can you do, right? The top three businesses, right, or the top three fields that make money almost guaranteed, right? If you help somebody make some more money, you're going to eat. If you help somebody with relationships, you're going to eat. If it's relationship, if you help, it's also fitness. If you help people get fit, you're going to eat. If you're doing those three things, those are the top three things to do. What are you going to do? Money, relationships, fitness. Those three things. If you fill out how to help somebody, how to fill a need in those three things, you are going to win a bag. Right? If you don't have those, if you support these industries, right? The same thing they say, right? In a gold rush, who got rich? The people selling picks and shovels. All right. So now, if you see, right now, I'm talking about just courses and digital marketing, right? If you see everybody and a mom trying to create a course, then you provide the picks and shovels. They're going to need a funnel. You build that. They're going to need ads. You build that. They're going to need email lists. You build that. They're going to need text message support. You build that. They're going to need virtual assistants. You can do that. Right? They're going to need content. You could do that. Right? There's so much things you could do, and so it doesn't matter whether their course is good or bad. It doesn't matter whether their course fails or wins. You still getting paid from everybody, right? So if you help somebody make money, help them get fit, help them get in a relationship, these are the things that's going to make you the most money, right? Other than that, if you got a skill like building something, if you could build a platform, right? If you can build if you could build an app, if you could build a business in that way, right? These are those things, right? These are different ways that you could really run it up, right? And so it's like, all right, another instance, right? Realtors. So I'm a realtor. I know realtors. The people making money, more money than most realtors, are people that are supporting realtors, appraisers, home inspectors, conveyancers, right? These are people that support realtors. They don't care whether you do 3 deals a year or 100 deals a year. You're going to be their client. Whatever deals you get, you're going to send to them. Even mortgage loan officers, right? Mortgage loan officers, realtors just throw them their deals. LOs they go out, they build the relationships, they provide the money that the realtors need to get their client to the table. Right? They provide the money that the client needs the seller, the buyer to have, so the sellers can sell their property. They build the relationships. They provide the money in between. So they really are supporting realtors in a way. It's a symbiotic relationship. But if you're a realtor and you're only doing 7 deals a year, that loan officer might got 50 realtors only doing 7 deals a year, and they eating. Right? It's the support in these businesses. Right? What is it that you're going to do that you're going to spend the least amount of time but impact the most people? Right? How are you going to, you can make millions, you can make billions by helping other people make millions. Right? When you think about it, a financial advisor, right, at the base level, they get their money on residual. They take thousands or hundreds and thousands of people, bring them into their ecosystem, invest their money for them to make money, and they take a small piece of everybody's money every year that they manage. At that level, financial advisor, right? So we got to think of these things differently. Life insurance people, right? A life insurance person gets paid a residual every year. Every year you renew your life insurance, they get paid. Right? It's about having these networks. It's having these networks, providing a service, help other people make money, help other people in their fitness journey, help other people get in relationships. right? Look at all these dating websites and dating TV shows. Damn near every black podcast right now is talking about relationships. Should the man pay for all the bills in the house? Come on, bro. That's every last damn podcast. It's the same thing. Because relationship game never get old. Everybody's still trying to learn how to navigate relationships, right? I know this woman, she's making $200,000 a month, and her product is helping women recover from toxic relationships and and recognize red flags. How to help women recover from toxic relationships and recognize red flags. And she's making 200 grand a month. How is that worth $200,000 a month? Yo, you knew dude ain't nothing. You know the red flags. Why you gotta pay this lady to tell you that that dude is a joke? 200 grand a month. How to recover from toxic relationships. How to recover from toxic relationships and how to recognize red flags, right? Picks the shovels, the stuff in the middle. That's what we're doing all 2023. It's all about execution. What are we going to do, right? My thing is, I'm a real estate guy. I want more people investing in real estate, right? I want more people to have a piece of this because if you're noticing, the corporations are buying everything up. We're becoming a renter society, but it's not just a renter society in houses. Cars are rented basically, right? Even if you say you leasing a car, but even if you don't lease the car, if you buy the car, right, with a payment, you're probably going to trade that thing in 3 or 4 years. So you're constantly going to have that payment. Our cell phones now are leased, right? Every program is a recurring revenue model, right? Everything now is a recurring revenue model. That's all that we're doing. Everything in our life is a recurring. Even my program is a recurring revenue model. I'm gonna provide this information. I'm gonna give it to you every month, but you need to invest in yourself to have access to me every month, right? My time, everything is subscription based. Everything, right? And so knowing that, what are you going to provide? Like, how can you service the needs of the people going into the future? And if you do that, here's the thing, right? I'm going to give you this real stat. It's important. It's important. When I was in 8th grade in 1991, 1992, I was at Maya. And at time, there was about 5 billion people on the planet. In 2011, we crossed over 7 billion people on the planet, right? We are right around 8 billion people on the planet now. In the next 10 years, there's supposed to be 9 billion people on the planet. By 2045, there's supposed to be 11 billion people on the planet, right? So now, from 1991, 1992 to 2045, that means the Earth's population doubled, right? Think about that. Billions of people, but as of right now, we're just talking about 8 billion people, right? If it's 8 billion people on Earth, right, and the United States alone is over 330 million people. Out of that 330 million people, you can't find 1,000 people that's willing to support your business? Out of 330 million people only in this country, you can't find 1,000 people to support what you're doing? You can't find 1,000 customers? And the reason why if you say no, you can't find 1,000 customers is because you're not willing to try. It's because you are letting other people determine your pride is too high. You are not willing to go on this Instagram that's free. You're not willing to go on YouTube that's free and scream from the rooftops, I have this product, come buy it from me, right? Or I have this product, it fills your need. If you're not willing to do that every day because you know how you feel. Oh, man, I'm tired of seeing so-and-so. They get on my nerves. They always saying that. It's because how you feel about other people that is going to stop you from using these free platforms to market yourself and market your business, right? Because you don't want people to say negative things about you, people that you don't even know or don't care about or don't like. And I guarantee you, now one of them people are paying your mortgage. Now one of them people are putting food in your refrigerator. Now one of them people are going to pay for your kids' tuition because you're not willing to feel like, oh man, everybody looking at me say the same thing. Nobody's supporting me, right? They're not buying it. But the thing is, you need 1,000 people out of 8 billion. 1,000 people out of 8 billion is all you need to have a lucrative business, no matter what it is. You don't need millions of people. You need 1,000 people out of 330 million in this country and 8 billion worldwide. That's all you need. That's all you need. So what I want you to do is figure out what is that thing, right? And execute on it. And don't give up. I tell people all the time, it only takes 3 years to be super successful. I don't care what you're doing. If you're selling pencils, I don't care if you're a new carpenter, right? I don't care what you're doing. It takes 3 years. The first year is just going to be getting people to know you're in business. You're going to do a little bit of business, let people know you're in business. That second year, you're going to remind people, you're going to have some deals, you're going to get referrals. That third year, everybody you already sold to, you should be marketing to them, getting referrals from them, provide extra service to them, and letting more people know. So by the end of that third year, everybody gonna know that you got pencils for sale. You got the best price and the best pencils. Your pencils don't never break. Everybody gonna know, like, all right, bet I wired this house up, I wired that house up, I sold this house, I sold that house. You know, I helped this person, that I was with this person in the gym and they lost 30 pounds, they lost 20 pounds, they lost 50 pounds if you're a trainer, if you're doing weight loss. You know, I connected this woman with this guy and connected this guy with this girl, and over the time of 3 years, you have a large catalog, and now your business is solid. But you go through the hardship of that first year, that first 6 months, and you give up because your business ain't doing it. Right? Whatever you was ain't doing it. And you give up. But that third year is when you're going to start making money. That third year is going to get easy. That first year is going to be the hardest. And it's more of a mindset thing. It's getting through the hard part with nobody knowing you. So you got to go out here every day and say, listen, I do this, I do this, I do this. Right? You saying, you know, all of these things, like really go ahead and get into the next level, right? Is really being consistent is more important than being good, right? Hey, Mr. Ellis, how you feeling, sir?
So, brother, happy holidays.
Hey, happy holidays to you, man. I'm trying to be like you, man. Listen, if anybody don't know, that's Kamari, the finance rebel. I watch his live sometimes, and I'm like, yo, he really carries a whole show for an hour by himself, no guest, and he just delivers. And where me, I got a good 10 minutes.
That's not true. That's not true. You lying,
by
bro.
myself, I got a good 10 minutes.
You are a wealth of knowledge. You've been in the game. You've been in the trenches, and you do this thing for real. And it's funny. I was thinking about you yesterday. I was playing property manager for the day yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
My dad is so my dad's in the hospital right now, and he's a property manager for some properties. And so I got tagged in to go check on some things and get some plumbers out. Boy, oh boy. I still have a love-hate relationship for it.
Yeah, no, listen. It's the thing with real estate. The thing with real estate is everybody make it seem like it's the reason why I have an audience right now, and I know why, is because when I started posting videos about real estate, it was because everybody was showing the glamour and the glitz, and I was the one saying, nah, it ain't that sweet.
Listen,
it ain't that sweet.
Plus, you the boy that ride around with no mirror on.
Listen, I'm riding around like that, man. But listen, Kamari, right now we're talking about executing in 2023, and I shared some platforms that I think that people should pay attention to and watch. And I also said this is the easiest time in the history of the world to get rich because all you need is a phone, right? And we've witnessed over the past 3 years a lot of people become super wealthy over the past 3 years, right? I talked to Matt, MG the Mortgage yesterday, talking about him having brunch with Art Donahue Peebles, with him and with Earn Your Leisure guys. That's all because they picked up a phone and decided to talk on it. Now they have business deals with Steve Harvey. They having brunch with Orlando Peebles. They linked up with
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry, Robert Smith,
Yep.
right? All because they picked the phone up and executed and were consistent. Even in Market Monday's platform, I think they only in the past couple of years they only missed one Monday was a repeat. No matter where they are in the world, when they were in Africa, they still did Market Monday. When they were in London, they still did Market Monday, right? When they were in Miami, they still did Market Monday. It's all really about being consistent. It's better than being good. It's better than being good, being consistent.
So you need both. But to your point, you're right. Consistency is more important than being good because if you stay consistent with the right intentions, you'll become good. So I agree.
100%.
I agree.
100%.
That's a fact.
Now, so let's, for those that don't know, right? The Kamari Finance Rebel is an accountant and also enrolled agent. We do have people. Wait, Kamari, is that your catchphrase? If you don't have a tax plan, you don't have a financial plan. What's that? That's your catchphrase?
If you don't have a tax strategy, you don't have a wealth plan.
Because taxes, a wealth plan.
Yeah. So taxes are like they rob everybody, right? And I'm not the anti-tax dude.
Listen, I'm telling y'all every day. Listen, the IRS was on my ass a couple of months ago. I called Kamari for help. The IRS, they was on my ass, man. I owed them boys some. So part of it was me, part of it was them, right? The IRS made some errors on their part, and because of those errors, that put me in jeopardy. I'm not going to say I wasn't at fault. I was 100% at fault for my part, but they also messed up. And between me being lackadaisical with the IRS and the IRS really just being some, not really having great systems, those two things together, I was scrambling. So I had to make some moves. But fortunately, I'm in a position where I don't spend a lot of money. So when they IRS was like, yeah, we need this bread, I was like, okay, I don't feel like it, but okay, here, take it. You know what I'm saying? But everybody is in that situation where they still got bread to the side.
Right.
For when it happened. So because I'm not a spender, I was able to, pay my way out of that jam. But still, the IRS, man, my God, I'm glad. How do people sell dope? The IRS my back like that? Imagine being the feds. imagine being the feds. They was in my hills. So for Kamari, for 2023, the Finance Rebel, how are you leveling up? What's your next execution level?
That's all I'm thinking about right now. I don't really run any ads. I'm going to start running some ads. That's one thing I want to do. I've been building infrastructure, getting more people involved in my team. I can't handle everything by myself. I just send an email out to my clients, letting them know that we have to be proactive, right? You talked about your issue. No longer can you just sit back on your laurels, on your ass, and wait for the IRS. They got $80 billion. They about to hire another 80,000 people. You got to be proactive with that. If you're not proactive with it, you're going to be jammed up. And so with that being said, I'm letting all my clients know that long are the days where we just sit back and wait for you to come bring me your tax documents. We got to be talking about it now. People got to be thinking about what tax deductions they qualify for now and what tax strategies they can employ now. Forget April 15th. What can you do today? So that's what's on my plate for this year, because I'm looking to take them to the next level. Because like you said, people out here getting to the bag. But my daughter about to go to college, so I got some bills coming up, and and the IRS is always on my back too. So just got to figure out how to step it up, more marketing. But I'm afraid, not afraid, but I want to be cautious about more marketing and not having the customer service and the infrastructure to service the people. So I've been
All
moving a
right.
little slow
So
with
what
that.
service are you marketing?
So helping more people get out of IRS tax debt, right? More tax planning. And I still want to do tax preparation, but more tax planning and more IRS debt resolution. Like there's over, I want to say $2 trillion in outstanding taxes that are owed. People need help with that. So I got to start putting myself in the middle of that flow so people can come to me to get help. And a lot of people
Right,
don't realize.
to get up out of that jam.
Yeah.
So what I think might be, listen, I mean, you might be, I guess you got to find out what niche. I'm trying to think, like
Oh,
everybody that made
real estate
these
investors.
millions.
Real estate investors. That's the majority
Right.
of my clients.
Yeah.
Y'all got problems. Y'all don't want to pay
Yeah.
taxes. Y'all
No,
don't want to do books, right?
no.
Y'all right for the catching. I'm not picking on y'all because I love y'all, because what I will say in our community, right, the real estate investor has kind of been the one who's always been the one that's been the go-getting it, consistently throughout my life, from my dad to his clients to my clients. But a lot of times they don't have the discipline nor the systems to maintain everything. For example, you've been talking about this for over a decade. A lot of people doing burst strategies, all kinds of upside down right now. Can't get funding, can't get deals, and they jammed up. Well, you can't always go to a refi for everything. You got to start putting some money away, putting money aside. Like you said, you don't spend a lot of money. That's one of your saving graces. That's one of your superpowers, right? Because that means you can weather the storm. A lot of us are just thinking about get that flip today, get some money. But what about next year, 5 years, 10 years later? Got to start putting some money aside because taxes are going to come up. Real estate taxes are going to come up. I'm dealing with the property, the heater issue at this property. That's going to be several $1,000s. The people that are able to save money and strategize throughout all this are the ones who are going to win in the long run.
All right. So listen, guys, with the people that have been on it for a while, what I was saying earlier, this is the perfect example of how you can make money, right? You could service Kamari here. Kamari, he just said he hasn't ran ads. Next year he's going to start running ads, right? Kamari, he's great at counting, but he don't know what goddamn thing about running ads. Am I right about that? No.
Not I've ran some ads. I do a little bit,
Right.
but no, I'm
Right.
not the master at ads, right?
Right.
By no means, shape, or form.
But if you want to have a good ad, listen, I know how to run ads too. That don't mean I'm good at it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So, right. And so now, if Kamari wants to scale his business up through ads, he's gonna need somebody to run his ads for him. He's gonna need somebody to book this funnel. Right? Because he's not the one who be designing his funnel. He's going to need somebody to do his automation for him. He's going to need somebody, to write his follow-up sequences for his emails and text campaigns. I'm sure he's going to write a few, but after that 8th email, he's like, man, let me get somebody to help me do these emails, right? And so he's going to give him their avatar, and they're going to write emails based on his avatar and his goal. So these are other services that you're going to be provide for Kamari, and then once you get it, then you can find other people in the same niche, once you understand it, and service them. So it's not difficult to figure out a way to make money. You might yourself become the tax funnel specialist. Right, once you build it out, because you already know. Be like, okay, you need people that's in trouble with taxes. You need just basic tax returns. You need people that just need, he's an enrolled agent, so he can actually go down to court for you or
Not
with
court,
you.
not court.
Oh, not court?
IRS though, not court. Court's like the final level. But
Okay,
if I gotta go to the IRS, I can go speak on your behalf of them.
Right. Oh yeah, there we go. Virtual
Yeah.
assistant gets CRM. So no, so there's tons of ways. I just gave you like 5 different streams of revenue that I was talking about Kamari specifically, but in general, everybody's going to need that same thing to grow their business,
I
and
agree.
that could just be your niche, right? And so we're just talking about executing in 2023. I don't want people going 2023. I don't want to see nobody else doing no Airbnb arbitrage or Turo in 2023. I don't want to see, I don't want to see, I don't want to see nobody thinking that that's the only way you're going to get bread in 2023, right? Now, and real estate is a little bit different because you can use the same strategies over and over and over again in 2023 for real estate that have been going on forever. Like even a bird strategy, I'm always want to say I caution against it, like know what you're doing with the bird strategy, but there's always going to be space
Right.
for it as long as you do it properly.
And that's with
Properly.
anything, right? You know, moderation is the key to everything. If you go excessive with anything, it gets crazy. But you see, and I see, people think the birth strategy is the answer for everything.
For everything.
Well, no, not always. Not always. I mean, I got some people right now who are locked in their homes and got a lot of equity, but they can't get no loans right now. Or the loans are like 20, 25%. So
Listen, look,
it's rough out here.
listen. I just refinanced. I'm sorry. No, I just bought a duplex. I just bought a duplex. My interest rate is 7.5% interest,
Nice. Ain't bad.
which I'm not pressed on because when I started doing mortgages back in 2007 or 2006, whatever, I started doing mortgages. The FHA interest rates were like 7.5.
Right.
That was a good interest rate then. And so we were doing subprime loans at 9% we was doing 80-20 loans or 70-30, right? So on the first 80% of the loan, it would be like 9% interest, and the last 20% be 12% interest,
I
right?
mean, listen,
11% interest.
people got spoiled. They got all that free money from the Fed, zero interest rates, and they think everything's supposed to be sweet.
Right.
You got to work a little bit.
Right. And now I think I have an advantage over the newer investors because I'm okay with the older interest rate. I've been there. I've done that. Man, I still have houses now with the old interest rates because I didn't want to refinance and have to pay all these fees to start over. You know,
Well, you
like for instance,
absolutely
I
have
got a
an
I got a house
advantage.
right
That's
real quick, Mark. I have one house that I have. I only owe $4,000 on the mortgage. I've paid the mortgage up that long. I only owe $4,000. I don't care what the interest rate is. I'm not gonna refinance that house. I'm paying the higher interest rate.
that's the goal, because then you got free and clear cash flow.
You
That's the
know,
goal.
and so and I mean honestly, I may end up taking equity out, but I'm in scale mode now. I'm thinking about taking down the elephant. So I might have to take some of the equity. I'm thinking about, but the point
Develop
is,
a strategy around it. Don't just be willing to
oh
develop a
no,
strategy.
no. That's why I'm still sitting there. Like I'm looking to scale up some. So I might have to take that couple dollars out. But the point is like, okay, refine. Like no, I still have that house with the house I had with a higher interest rate. I could have been refinanced it to a lower interest rate, but why? I got to pay appraiser. I got to pay, the transfer tax. I got to pay for title insurance. By the time I pay for all that stuff, what am I saving? I'm not saving anything, and it's adding more time. So for me, used to seeing 9% interest rates, 11% interest rates. What do I care about 7.5? It's still to me. It's still a good interest rate. Everybody, oh my
Right.
God, interest rate's too high. I'm like, no, this is regular to me,
Right.
right? So where I'm still out there in acquisition mode. Everybody else falling back. I don't know if you're riding around Philly lately, but all you see is a lot of stalled projects.
I was just down Brewery Town yesterday, or Strawberry Mansion, whichever one you would call it.
It's a lot of stalled projects. Just yesterday they announced that project. They spent a year and like $30-40 million down Delaware Avenue, and they put that project on hold.
Yeah.
No, it's yeah. So, but me, I'm like, all right. Everybody else not buying. Okay, it's time for me to go ahead and get busy.
But this is when the real money is made. When there's chaos on the streets. When it's blood on the streets, they say be greedy. That's real, because you're going to find opportunities, below market opportunities. People ain't got cash. People can't finish projects. And so now's the time to get at it. Now's the time to be aggressive if you have the reserves to do it,
And you
in my opinion.
got the reserve to do it, man. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm out here in shopping mode. So listen, Kamari. So the other day, so people were talking about, I put the post up. I see a lot of people getting hundreds of $1,000s in business credit with no business, right?
You
I
already know
see
how I
it.
feel about that. You trying to argue with me that you already know how I feel
No,
about
no,
that.
no. I'm not. I'm just saying. No. Me and you for the same about that. We for the same.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, right. Ty, yeah. As a developer, Ty, matter of fact, Ty, you got a minute? I'm gonna ask you something real quick, man, because I got a project. I'm depending on you. He come. I'm depending on you for a project, man. So I need to find out what you're doing, so I know what I'm doing with my project.
Taib be out here moving.
And so I know there's a lot of people that's getting started, right? And they getting a business credit and they don't know what to do with it. They just got it and they spending it the wrong way. And what people don't realize is it's like $100 bill. Once you break it, it's gone,
Yep.
right? And so once you get that 50K on a credit, all of a sudden all these emergencies come up that you never had before. Oh, my transmission went down. My kids going on a trip. It's Christmas time. All of a sudden, these things come up. I got you, no problem. He said,
Taib too low key for that, man. He
man,
don't
listen,
move like that.
hey, listen, man, come on, guys. So, but at any rate, so I'm like, all right, you don't know what you're doing, and what happened is they going out right now, right, and they get in I put the other post. Somebody spent $100K doing Airbnb arbitrage and lost it all. Is that they can't? Their occupancy rate is at 0. Right? They're going to lose all their entire 100K.
I saw that post.
Right? They're going to lose the entire 100K by the end of the year. I've been saying it, and so my thing is like, yo, if you're going to do it, at least get an asset and get a tenant. And if your business flop, at least your tenant is going to pay down your debt. Right? If you could buy a house and refinance it, you try your hand at the business, it is what it is. Like, the hardest part is if it's coming out of your paycheck, you're not going to pay it. Period.
Right.
If the tenant is putting the money up, and you can put it over there, then you're more likely to continue paying. If you're getting money anywhere but your paycheck, then you might get a chance to continue to pay it.
Agreed.
Right? And so what I was thinking about this, right? All right. I'm looking at some other towns in the Midwest, right? Yesterday I did an exam. I deleted it. I don't save my lives anymore. I might save this one, but for the most part, I delete my lives now because I figure like, you got to be on here. Or what I might do is I might delete the live and I'll cut out certain parts and I might repost them on YouTube, but not on Instagram. So that's what I'm doing. So this live I might delete. So I posted. It was a town in the Midwest. If you weren't on that live, you missed it. I'm not going to give you the town. But I was finding houses on there that were almost ready to occupy for less than $40,000. 27,000. I'm actually about to buy a duplex in the Midwest town for 45,000 already occupied. It got there's two two-bedroom apartments paying $600 a piece. And I'm paying, I think, 40.
That's the mortgage? That's 45, that's it?
All in. That's it.
Congrats.
Fully occupied at $600 per unit.
That's a no-brainer. And I'm guessing you got a property manager there that's going to handle it for you?
I know. So I've been interviewing property managers.
Yeah,
I've been interviewing property managers.
The Midwest is sweet, man. My biggest client is in the Midwest. So I go to Kansas fairly often. I haven't been this year, but I go fairly often. I have a developer client out there that just built a $1.7 million project, built some other joints from ground up. The Midwest, there's a lot of opportunity there.
A
But
lot of opportunity in the Midwest. So,
just like anything else, though,
all
you
right.
gotta
So
understand
now,
the basics.
this is what I was saying, right? Okay, if you just ran up like 100K in business credit and you don't know what to do with it, let's say you got 12 or 18 months, interest free or whatever. All right, no problem. All right, I want to try to show people how to find an occupied property. So it's easy. They could buy it for the third. They say go buy it for $35,000. No interest. But if they can't be disciplined, then I can't mess with you, right? You have to use 100% of that rental income to put back on the car or back on line of credit. 100% of it. Don't take don't forget emergency fund, forget funding yourself. Pay the credit card because you don't need the emergency fund, because if you're paying a card back, you got tap it back if something comes up. So pay that down, right? Once they do that, do it again. So now you got this house with no debt on it. Then you buy another one. So now instead of say $800 a month in rent, so 800. So now you got 60 from two houses. You got $1,600 a month to pay it off that $30,000 or $40,000, right? Pay that off. Do it again. Don't refinance a house. Don't do nothing. Just keep paying using the same line of credit or same credit card and do it again. Now you got $2,400 to pay it off, and just constantly just use that same play, same car over and over and over again. And like I said, you never got to tap into your personal money. You never got to refinance. It just takes patience and discipline for people to be able to scale up. Because even right now, I have two houses that I'm vetting that are occupied. One of them is 22,000, and another one is 17,000. The one at 17,000 has a tenant paying $600 a month, and the one that's 21,000 has a tenant paying $550 a month. Two bedroom has a tenant paying $550 a month. I do have somebody out there that's going to go and take pictures and do a video, and then I'm going to hire a home inspector just to know what I'm getting into, make sure it's not a dud,
Right.
right? And I'm like, damn, they already occupied, they already got tenants. I mean, $20,000,
You
and I'm
think about
like,
buying
damn.
both?
So, yeah, come on, man. So somebody got a 50K line of credit. They could legit buy two houses and make $1,100 a month. But like I said, be very disciplined and paying it off. Like use all the money from your credit cards. I mean, all the money from your rent to pay it off. Don't pinch anything off. But can people be disciplined uh, in doing it? I don't want to work with anybody that doesn't have discipline, because you can look at me like I messed your life up. Like, damn, Malik told me to use Malik told me to buy this house and do this and that, but you went to Jamaica. I didn't tell you to do that. I told you to pay your debt. I didn't tell you. I didn't
Listen,
tell you
man,
to buy that
they
first.
felt they felt they deserved a vacation. I
They
mean, but
just
listen, nobody talks about this, right? There's a reason why there's a 1%, right? There's a reason. And that's leaving all the racial stuff and everything else out of there. There are other people who are willing to sacrifice more than the average person. And so if you're not that person that's willing to sacrifice more, just get a job. I mean, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with getting a job, but just stay on the sideline, because you're not going to be able to do what you want to do if you don't have discipline, if you're not willing to eat beans and rice, some crackers and sardines for a little bit. It's going to be rough out here sometimes, but you got to do what you got to do.
no, it's 100%. It's going to be tough, man. But so listen, before I let you go, let me ask you this: can you drop any kind of tip or motivation, or what do people need for 2023 to really get to that next level?
So I want to talk about this real quick. I've been doing this. I've been hanging out with these tech folks, right? And they're what's called overemployed. They have multiple remote jobs at the same time. So, for example, they'll be, project managers. They'll have two 9 to 5s at the same time. So instead of making 100,000, they're making 190, 180. I see people in that community eating. So I would say, get your skills up for 2023. Possibly look at having multiple remote jobs. Everybody doesn't look favorably upon this, right? So don't say I told you to do something that's illegal. Some might say it's unethical, but this is a great opportunity, especially if you've got skills. If you don't got skills, get skills. And listen, get a job. Take that money and do like Malik's doing. He started with a job, right? I don't know if y'all saw this. I interviewed Malik. He gave us his whole story. I'll share that later. But he started at PJ, and here he is now. He's a testament of everything he's talking about: patience, discipline. You know, he might even say being cheap a little bit. But he developed skills, right? And those skills were able to take him to a place where he's good now. And I think I'm honored to know you, brother. I know we don't always agree. We argue a lot. But at the same time, I'm honored to know you. And I'm really glad to see that you are a man of your word. And you out here preaching what you do.
Nah, I definitely appreciate it. The mirror definitely fixed, Keith. The mirror fixed, man. But Keith got mad at me one time when I said that plumbers make more than dope dealers. You know, he's like, no, don't post that. Like, plumbers make more than dope dealers. But
plumbers, electricians, concrete guys,
make more than dope dealers. Make more than dope dealers. But if you look at like a lot of these tech certificates, you only need 6 months, and once you finish it, you come up making $100,000. It's like you're not willing to take a tech class and for 6 months to be able to get a job, those kind of coding, like medical coding, to make $80,000 to $100,000 when you come out.
But here's the thing: everything ain't coding, right? I mean, you can take certifications with like Salesforce, right? Just learn their program. Some of those guys are making 75, 100. And then how I got into this community, it was a sister who put me on. She was down with Salesforce. She was working with a nonprofit. Then she found 3 jobs, dog. And she was kind of scared to tell her husband that she was making all this extra money. And I said, yo, you got to tell your husband. We can't be out here like that, right? But she told her husband was with it. But she's making $300,000. Like, I don't think people really can understand what $300,000 is, let alone what $100,000 is and what it can do to turn your life around. Especially some of those who are really grinding from the bottom, trying to get to the top. So again, just be patient.
She had 3 jobs, 3 remote jobs?
Yes. Listen, that's mid-level. In this community, I see people that got 9 jobs, a combination of W-2 and 1099, some making upwards of $1.7 million a year. And so if we talking about building wealth, forget about the ego stuff, because I know everybody's on this job shame and everybody's talking about to be your own boss. By the way, I hate the term boss. I hate the term self-made. At the end of the day, we got to figure out how to get the cash so we can then buy the assets. And when you buy the assets, then the assets are then turning out income. That's the formula. It's not rocket science. Generate income, buy assets that then generate more income, that appreciate in value, and then do whatever you want. Whether it's real estate, whether it's stocks, whether it's other businesses, it doesn't matter. Get in the game.
I tell people all the time, man, like, I don't want you necessarily to be a mogul. Like, if you don't be a mogul, don't be a mogul. I just want you to learn real estate so that you could get that force equity, and then I want you to at least make $2,000 extra a month. The reason why that $2,000 a month is key is because when I was doing mortgages and I would pull credit, the worst I would see somebody be like 30K in debt.
Yeah,
but that's the worst. That's the worst, 30K, right? And so it's like, all right, well now next year it might be like 400K, all this business credit floating around. Yeah. But for the most, it was like 30K. So I'm like, okay, so if you stop buying shit, you add $2,000 a month from rental income or anything, and you pay your debt down, then all your paycheck is going to you. Like, your life is way easier without all this extra money going out. So now, like, once you pay down that debt and life is easy, that $2,000, that really is going to get you on solid footing, right? Because most people, once again, I'm not telling nobody ever to quit their job, but the job is less stressful when you don't need it.
It's a fact. I always say, use your job to finance your freedom. Because it's there. But a lot of times we going for pie in the sky. what do they say? A bird in the hand is better than one in the bush. It's there. Use that money. But you know what? Let me just say this real quick. I see a lot of people complain about their jobs. And I always wonder to myself, because I didn't always like my jobs, but I never really complained. One of my employees said, Kamari, I like you because you whistle while you work. This is the job. This is what I've got to get done. One of the easiest ways to make more money is to get a damn raise at your job. That's all that's going to take you is to be a good employee. And guess what?
Sometimes.
Yes. And by the way, there are a lot of toxic places. I ain't talking about none of them. Some of y'all need to quit y'all jobs too. But
Yeah,
a
sure.
lot of y'all need to just be good employees, and you can get 5-10% increase in your income right away, real quick, which goes towards buying the assets. Again, what's the goal? Right? A lot of times we get into that fast money, get rich quick. But as you said, Malik, you're a testimony of this. Just keeping your head down, doing the same thing over and over and over again. There's nothing really flashy about what you do, and that's not a knock, right? You get out there in the field, you buy the properties, you buy them below value, or at least, good value for you, and you do it over and over again. You've been doing that for over a decade. You wasn't talking
Mm-hmm.
about doing development before then.
Nah.
Now everybody wants to skip that spot. They want to skip the entry level and go right to development. Have no
Okay.
idea the cost projects by square foot. Have no idea how to find good contractors. Have no idea to do none of that stuff. So I just say again, stick to the basics. We love Kobe and Michael because they were great, but they were only great because they were masters at the fundamentals, dribbling, passing, basic shooting. Now we can get to all the fly stuff too, but just the basic stuff is what made them great.
Right. No, 100%, man. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this, right? I'm gonna just give you this one thing, with this couple of things, this chain. If you don't have a property right now, if you don't have a house right now, this is in succession. Think about buying a mixed use first and then a 4 unit and down, right? Now, what I mean is, if you don't have a property, if you have a property but not FHA mortgage, you can buy up to 4 units using the FHA mortgage. An FHA mortgage only requires 3.5% down, right? So, which means that what it looks like in Philly, a mixed use in Philly looks like a storefront on the bottom and up to 3 apartments on top. You only have to put down 3.5%. And Philly, Germantown Avenue, Lehigh Avenue, 52nd Street, Chester Avenue, a lot of different these avenues have these storefronts and apartments above it. And so I say they cost $200,000. I mean, you only got to that's 6,000 or like $7,500. But there are grants you can still get for them, and you also use seller's assist. So if you want to do an event space, it's no problem. You can do it as long as you live in one of the units. Right? You could do the event space, you could do the barber shop, you could do the hair salon, you could do the restaurant, you could do whatever business you want to do on the first floor and have a higher likelihood of success because your other tenants are the ones paying. You're living there and the other tenants are paying, if not the whole mortgage, a good portion, so that you could really focus on having your job, but also starting this next business. And if you don't want to have that next business, no problem. You could rent that space out. And the good thing about renting commercial is, especially in Philadelphia, you probably should be a commercial more than residential now because of all the new law. Philadelphia is way too left wing, in my opinion, right now. So with all these new laws, it's difficult to even rent, especially in low income neighborhoods. Then do the commercial. It's easier to evict if you need to. Well, commercial is the thing called triple net lease, where they pay for all their own repairs, they pay for their own portion of their taxes, their own portion for the insurance, they pay for all their stuff. All you're doing is providing the space, and that's it. Right, so it's less burden when you're renting to commercial anyway. So whatever you want to do, you can either start a business or rent that space out, live upstairs, and have up to 2 units. If you don't want to do commercial, no problem. Then you still look for up to 4 units. Another good thing about it is if you go get pre-approved, you're pre-approved for $250,000. But then by the time you add that multifamily, they'll use up to 60% of that rent that's coming in to add. So now your pre-approval go from like 250 to 300. So now you're going to be able to get a better property, or maybe in a better area than you could if you did not have that tenant, right? And so your first property, I don't think anybody should be buying that totally rehab, beautiful, top of your value property as your first one. People forgot starter home. People forgot that word, starter home. We want to get you in the game, get something, and then in a year you can move out, and all that cash flow is coming to you. Now you're in the game. And you could either do it again, multifamily, or you could buy the house that you want. But the house that you want, now you got tenants that's helping you pay the mortgage for the house that you want. You say up to 75% now? So Shah said you can use up to 75% of the rental income.
Wow.
You know, for your pre-approval. So yeah, you could get a much better property now, or in a better area than you actually could. So yeah, everybody, please, your first property, don't. And to me, it's actually insane to think that if you're using 43% of your gross income on housing anyway, that is crazy to me. That is crazy. You can use half your gross income on just where you live. Whoa. I mean, people do it every day. It just don't make sense to me.
Hey man, it's rough out here, especially if you factor in a young family that's looking for good schools. Philly has a school problem. So I get why some people move to the county and pay high rent. I do.
Yeah,
You know,
100%. I agree. It's a smart thing. I understand why people use fake addresses in the county too, right? So, shit, my niece, they used a fake address and sent her to Lower Marion. Lower Marion found out.
You might be snitching now. You might cut that out.
No, it was 30 years ago.
Yeah,
it was 30 years ago. It's fine.
But I agree with you. Like I've been telling my son that he should look at a multi-unit to get one, because that to me is like the greatest play ever. Forget business credit. You know, if you ain't been in business for 5 years, forget business credit. You're looking to get established, get you a multifamily, start there and go there that way. Now, they're kind of hard to find though, right? Because they've been out there. The property I was at yesterday is a multifamily down there. The lady wants to sell. I'm like, no, don't sell. Don't sell. She's like, I don't want the responsibility anymore. Don't sell. Keep it.
Well, she older.
Yeah.
So
But
here's the thing with that, right? At some point,
yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
It's like anything else, right? Well, forget the burden and all that kind of stuff. Like, forget the mental peace that it comes with being a landlord. When you're older, people take advantage of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's a burden. Like it might extend her life, if she get rid of that burden. But on top of that, it's like a tech company, right? When you build a business, at some point you want to exit.
Maybe. It all depends on the strategy.
Right, yeah, but a lot of these businesses that's like an exit is going public, right? Taking on other investors and as an exit, or selling your business as an exit, right? At some point you want to exit,
Maybe. But sometimes, I think black first with everything. So when I look at these neighborhoods, and we always complain about gentrification, part of the reason why gentrification, you got stories about this, is because we always selling out to the highest bidder. Sometimes it makes sense from a generational standpoint to try to keep it in the family or keep it close not sell it to the highest bidder, but kind of pay it forward to the next generation. And I know that's nuanced and that's a little deep. And I know,
so
that's
look,
made you push back.
I was getting ready to go, but I have a post that I was saving that goes right to this. And I was going to do a post called "Sell Granny's House," right? Everybody's saying don't sell Granny's house. I'm saying sell Granny's house, because Granny had.
Makes sense.
Listen,
Yeah,
Granny had 3 kids. All Granny kids had kids. One of them had a kid, right? One of her kids died, right? And then what's left is you got your uncle that's strung out, living in the
Ain't no
house.
money.
Ain't nobody paying bills. Ain't nobody paying bills.
Get behind the
Nobody
property
fixing it up.
tax. The
Nobody
roof
paying
got a
the
hole in it.
taxes.
Yep.
Except now you got Francine. Francine, the only one with money. The whole burden fall on her to have a family house, right? She the only one that got bread. It's like soul food. They leaned on her for every goddamn thing for the whole family and was mad at her because she made it. She didn't want to keep paying for the family now. But meanwhile, Granny got a whole TV stack full of money, but still telling Francine she broke. she,
Yep.
Granny got a whole TV full of bread, lying,
That's a
telling
fact.
telling her granddaughter that she ain't had no bread, and so then all that burden come on one person for the whole family,
But
and
listen,
then
I hear you, and I am 1,000% agree. But I was telling my son, right, a lot of times this new generation is very linear, right? It's color by numbers, one, two, three. We need principles to guide us, not necessarily rules. And so I'm talking about the best possible outcome, right? So the best possible outcome is auntie, grandma, selling the property to the next generation, and then they're able to keep it. However, as you just said, if everybody's strung out, if a lot of people aren't there, go to the cousins, go to someone else. But if we're talking about this black wealth thing, our answer can't always be to go for the cash because that has always, excuse my language, I ain't got nothing else, fucked us up, right?
yeah,
And
sure.
we haven't done that. And so we haven't said, you know what, I'm going to look out for the people instead of getting $2 extra. Or I still deal with this now. Go use the Jewish lawyer, the Jewish accountant to handle all my transactions. We're not thinking like that. That's a big part of the problem. But again, I agree with you. It's nuanced. I started not to even say it, but I felt I had to say it because I don't know if enough of us are talking about it and really going deep into that.
Right. Let me ask you this. Let me put one more scenario out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
When do Granny get a chance to chill? She done worked all her life. She might got a little pension, maybe not, because she might have been a housekeeper or whatever. But she got this asset. She lives somewhere else in the nursing home or wherever she live at, or she live in an apartment. She got this asset. When can Granny go to the casino? When can she go? When, you know what I'm saying? When can she go on cruises? She got this asset she paid for all her life, or she got $130,000 in this asset, but she only getting $800 a month coming in from her Social Security. When can she chill? What can she do the thing she always wanted to do? Like I understand generational wealth, but my mama got like
That's
two,
real.
Jody.
That's real. That's real. It's funny. My dad was going to do something for my son. He was going to give him something. And I said, no. He was going to give him a car. I said, no, you got to pay for it because of what you just said, right? One, they got to understand value. A lot of people don't understand the value of the thing if they don't pay for it, sadly. But two, he done paid all. He done did his work. His time's up. It's time for us to carry that burden. And
Listen,
so that's why
I'm,
I
a, I'm,
jumped
I'm
in this
hey,
week.
oh, I got a good one. Prime example, and I'm gonna get out of here. Two doors down from me, right? The lady, we call her Granny. On the
Mm-hmm.
block, her name was Granny. We call her Granny. She died maybe a year or some change ago. She was like 90 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember one day she knocked before she died, a year before she died, she knocked on my door and asked me if I wanted to buy her house because it was going into foreclosure. It was going into foreclosure because her grandson went to college, some HBCU actually. He went to some HBCU up like in Maryland. I don't know if it was Bowie or Morgan, whatever it was. And she refinanced the house to pay for his college.
Ooh.
He graduated, got a job in Maryland, and never paid Granny back. So now Granny knocking on the neighbor's door to come buy her house before it's foreclosed on for paying for her grandson's tuition. Man, fuck them kids.
Did you buy it?
No, I would have bought it, but no, I ain't buy it. She actually, I told her I would try to help her as much as I could without buying it, and she ended up dying. And the family put the house on the market, and some white folks bought it. Actually,
You should have brought it. So in that scenario, you should have brought it. Somebody in the community should have brought it that actually gave a fuck about grandma.
I couldn't. I listen. Like I said, she died in her house. If I'd have bought it, she would have who knows where she'd have lived at. It'd have been uncomfortable, and I wouldn't have done that. At least she died in her home, and the family had to. But the thing with it that goes to justification is they put the house on the open market, and me, just like the other people in the neighborhood, I'm like, man, ain't no way she gonna get 280. The house is raggedy. Ain't no way they gonna get 280. So the white folk was like, yeah, the 280, that ain't bad. Let me get that. They put the 280 and they fixed it up.
They buying on projected cash flow and projected appreciation, not right
Well,
now. But
so the person that bought it, she's a creative. She's not on the. I think she just bought it because it's a big house. It was like all the original architecture in there. It was just beat up. Like the kitchen was raggedy, but all the original trim from 100 years ago. It was a very nice house. It just needed a lot of work. And as a creative, she was like, damn, I could get this. My house is 2,500 square feet, so it's 3 stories. Her house is probably at 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and so she was like, I get all this for 280. Like, oh yeah, and she got a roommate, so she's chilling.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But I mean, to your point, right? To your point, the term "fuck them kids" is real. So we got to really start looking at it, and it's not a rule. It's just a principle. If the kids ain't in position to do the shit, then it's got to go to somebody else. But we should try to start there first and do all the necessary education and exposure beforehand before we even get to that point.
In fact, the reason I have this house I live in right now is because the owner said, fuck them kids, right? She put the house on the market. And I could tell she didn't want to sell. She put it in the market. I came to see it the first day, right? It's only 2 blocks from where I used to live. I walked up here and saw it, was like, yo, I want this. But when I came in, she had her grown kids here. Her son was in the back room smoking weed, right? Her daughter, they knew somebody was coming. Her daughter was in the front room with her girlfriend, like getting busy with the door. We could hear her like, yo, hold on, here we go, hold on. And so the lady embarrassed, and the only way to get rid of her grown kids was to sell the house. And then when I came here to sign a contract, she was like, I can't believe I'm selling my house, but I gotta do it. Right? Yeah. And that's the only way to get rid of her grown kids was to sell this out. But
that's sad.
I benefited.
That's
sad. And so I benefited. Now I'm here. And the thing is, I bought this joint for $117, like 7 to 8 years ago. Easy 400,000 plus. Easy 400,000 plus. I was saying, I tell people all the time, like I made $250,000 just for living.
Yeah.
I do nothing that everybody else do. All I did was live and made $250,000.
Yeah.
It don't got
to be rocket science, right? It don't got to be rocket science.
Yeah. I ain't do nothing. All I did was live, and I just made $250,000. I love real estate, man.
So I was talking to my dad, right? So my dad, to me, is the original house hacker. So him and my mom divorced in the 80s. He went and bought a triplex in Germantown in the 80s. He didn't even know what house hack was, right? And so we was talking about property values. And he was like, yeah, it's 4 over here. I said, Dad, do you know your property's worth over 300,000? He's like, get the fuck out of here. So I just Googled, and Tildy blew his mind. There's a property down the street going for like 305. He was like, that property's smaller than mine. I said, I know, Dad. And he got that all by, like you said, just living his life. Just living his life.
Yeah. Just living.
Yeah.
Just living. That's it, man. So it ain't got to be that. So, but look, I'm about to get out of here. Everybody's on here. Thanks for tuning in, and staying with us. But we just want to make sure you execute and get to that next level. It's raining money. All you got to do is go get a bucket, man. Just go get and what Kamari said, you might want to go get 3 buckets, because it's raining money out here. You just gotta don't poke holes in yourself by spending it. Keep that money, keep them buckets filling up, man. Make your life easier. Keep it going. But listen, everybody, you want to join the community? We talk all the time. Definitely follow me, follow Kamari, send us DMs. hop in the private communities, and we're going to take it to the next level. 2023, we're executing. Kamari, we got to get together, man. We're going to play Monopoly soon.
Oh, yeah. All right, brother. Love is love. See y'all later.
I
Happy
love you.
holidays.
Happy holidays.